It's time for the full moon. The full moon is today. The full moon is today. The full moon is today. I'm sure you understand why I'm so excited. I'm sure you understand why I'm so excited. Well, if you haven't guessed yet, literally my name has moon within its name. My persona is literally called Horror Moon. Is literally called Horror Moon. I don't know if there's any other furries out there that have moon included in their name somewhere. But even if you don't, you all are welcome here. You all are welcome here. And since we are in this time of the fullness and the brilliance of the moon, then I suppose that means we can dive into our imagination. That means that we can dive into our imagination and we can close our eyes. And I would like every one of you to just think of the moon in your mind. Envision the moon in your mind, or if you can see it, then take a look at it and focus on its shape, focus on the colors. If you can't see it because it's cloudy and you're following the envisioning of the moon, then what color do you see? What color do you see? What color do you see? It can be any color you want. Any color that seems relaxing to you, or even if the moon is kind of changing a bunch of colors because your imagination is wild, then that's good too. That's good too. I just see it in its normal colors in my imagination. Alright, now that we are envisioning the moon, I would like you, in your imagination, to go ahead, to float off the earth, to float off the planet Earth, and to float all the way up, to float all the way up, to float all the way up, and just go all the way toward the moon. Go all the way toward the moon. And I would like you to maybe try to sit there or just stand from the moon and look back at the planet Earth. Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you envision that? Can you envision that in your imagination? Can you envision that in your imagination? What a beautiful sight, isn't it? What a beautiful sight, isn't it? To imagine ourselves away from the planet Earth and just looking at it from the perspective of the moon and just looking at the Earth. Just looking at the vast blue and perhaps some greens here and there. Or I don't know, maybe you're focused on looking at some other planet. Maybe you're focused at looking at some stars. That too is okay. Maybe you're looking at Mars or something. Maybe you're looking at Saturn. Maybe you're looking at some other planet. Maybe you're trying to look at the sun. But just be careful. Just be careful to not burn your eyes in the process, Unless you have some protective gear over your eyes, or your persona is a species that can look directly at the sun because of you. It feels perhaps very cold, but I want you to not think of it in a negative way. I want you to think of being on the moon in a positive light. You went there. Well, you can fully see it from the Earth, and you went to the actual moon, and now you're just looking back at the planet. And I guess people could see you if you were all the way up there for real. That's a funny little idea. Imagine if they could see you. Imagine if they could see you. That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. Well, I actually want you to look around the moon. Maybe there's some ice around the moon. Maybe there's some pieces of rock. What kind of rocks do you see? Are they big? Are they small? What kind of texture can you imagine them with? Think about how rough or how soft the rocks could be. Are they cold or are they warm because of the heat that comes from the body? I also want you to imagine at this moment. I want you to imagine at this moment. I want you to imagine that suddenly the ice around you is melting, and the water in a very fantastical way begins to float around you, and it begins to form whatever shape you can see. For me, it just kind of flows around like a river. For you, it can flow however it wants, whatever shape you see is good. Maybe you see a full spectrum of colors because the sun is shining onto the water. Maybe you see something else. Maybe the water is just like a giant circle. Maybe it's just like a giant circle. And you're just looking into it because of how beautiful it looks, because of how just envision a little bit of purple in the vastness of space. I see a little bit of purple in the distance. At least for me, I envision a galaxy very much far away. But it can be whatever you decide. Now, let's begin our slow descent. Our slow descent back to the earth. We don't want to burn up. We don't want to burn up like asteroids do.